Yes.
I refuse to give up yet.
Oh, there is a continue. Okay, there is a continue. Okay. I know, I think in the PlayStation versions of the game, there were trophies for doing entire class trials without getting anything wrong. And doing a class trial with like no continues. So it's yeah, you get a continue. I thought you had to start from the last save. My bad. Regardless, I still don't know what the crack is here.
No.
Maybe Justice Hammer 4.
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info.
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers. And, that's about it.
What was used to kill Hifumi?
What was used to kill
Was it
Hifumi?
Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4.
How many Justice Hammers were there?
Whatever it was,
I can't
I guess
remember.
4.
there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness
Did I
them
press
carrying it?
Spotless Hammer on Witness already?
Sounds like a
Admit.
Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its
I think
appearance!
so.
Yeah.
What was used to... Was it Justice? Maybe Justice Hammer...
Well, whatever it was,
Bless you.
there's one thing. How was the culprit?
Thanks.
How did nobody witness?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance!
And I did it on that one too.
Time for more info. What was used
What
to...
did you
Was
use
it
the light
Justice?
for
Maybe
this time?
Justice Hammer...
I'm doing it
Well,
on
there's
Justice
one
Hammer
thing.
5.
How was the culprit?
I'm gonna do it
How did nobody
on.
witness?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about... Check out murdergear.com.
I'm gonna do it on
The murder weapon had
this.
to be one
If
of
it
the
doesn't
Justice-
work. Oh!
No, it's wrong.
Did you get it right?
Murder
Yeah,
weapon wasn't
it was
a
Spotless
Justice
Hammer
at
on
all. No,
the
it was
last
something
one.
completely different.
One of the
I thought
Justice
we
Hammers.
tried.
I thought we tried that too. Murder weapon wasn't just wasn't a So the logic is that the weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer. It was just a hammer. That's the logic the game wanted us to follow.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like just a hammer. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes the logic the game wants you to follow can be so asinine.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository.
I'm sick of the word repository.
Killer could've easily
Why?
used
Because
I
you don't know what it
know,
means?
it's like bothered me now, and now I can't be unbothered.
Alexa, define repository.
Repository is usually defined as a receptacle or place where things are deposited, stored, or offered for sale.
A storeroom. It's a storeroom.
Alexa, stop. So yeah.
It's too close to suppository.
What was that word you said?
Suppository.
Suppository. Alexa, define suppository.
The noun suppository is usually defined as a solid, conical mass of medicinal substance that melts upon insertion into the rectum or vagina.
I knew what it was.
God, I hope that came up on the audio. I don't think that did. It's too far away. I used to have it right here, so I used to do bits of Alexa on the stream. But it's over there. What?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a suppository.
Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and
I'm
debris.
actually upset the Alexa wasn't here, so it picked it up because
Well, you
For
could
some
regale
reason,
everyone
one
with
of
the
them had been
tail.
I don't. No, that's cool.
No?
No, you're good.
A conical medicinal device that melts upon insertion into.
The rectum or vagina.
Yes.
Sick. But anyway, we're talking about repository, not the suppository.
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones.
Big ones,
I think
small
whoever made
ones,
the
some the
Justice
size of your head.
hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma Files note about the wings being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him. Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together, but at least that's what we thought at first, but... Spot this hammer again.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act
Hifumi has
can
always been a
graduate
simp.
and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Oops. I didn't mean to do that, I'm sorry. I don't think that the hammer has anything to do with anything what they're saying, so we have to take a statement.
Okay.
Even
Apply
if
it.
more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained.
But that only really applies. In this case, however, there were two murders.
There's no, can we really say that there's no chance that two people work together?
Even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate, and assuming the rule holds true, it
Makes sense. There's the only two things there. And usually with this, and usually when you have to use that mechanic,
more than one person was involved.
how do I put it? Usually when you have to use that mechanic, the statement you absorb usually comes after the answer is for. The statement is for. If that makes sense.
Oh, right. Yeah.
There never usually is a chance where it's like, okay, I'm absorbing this statement, and then it's going to be used for this next statement in the same like run.
Yeah.
Usually you have to take a statement and then go again, and then yeah. Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering.
Itches.
Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime, and based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked
This
like
makes
one
sense
person
now.
because that's how the true killer designed
Designed it to look.
A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice.
Easy. Easy.
Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
Well, look where you are, Aoi.
Think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
The effort made to convince us the two murders were the same. That was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning, which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing, although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved, but then who was the one pulling Hifumi's string?
That's problem numero uno right now.
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions, and in the end, murdered him. In the debates up to now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit. Time to accuse someone. Let's go.
There's really only one person, huh?
Yep. Time to accuse. Let's go. Who's it? Is it Makoto? Is it Sayaka?
No.
Is it Kiyotake? Is it Junko? Is it Sakura? Is it Kyoko? Is it Mondo? Is it Aoi? Is it Yasuhiro? Is it Chihiro? Is it Byakuya? Is it Celeste? Is it Leon? Is it Genocide Jill? Is it Hifumi? Yeah. Is it no? Yeah. Is it? Yeah. Who is it? Think about it. Give it a good think. Think about everyone's involvement with the case. Think about the way they've acted during the trial.
Really?
No, I'm okay. So this is what I'm doing now. So you said really? Okay,
I don't
cool.
think so. I'd be disappointed. No. Maybe? No? No.
Oh, obviously
No.
not. So you reacted to these two. Wait, no. Him and her.
But she only started being dodgy during the trial.
Okay. And
She's
as
just
for
a bit of a naysayer.
right. And
It was the note thing. And whatever Robo Justice was doing back in the day that I don't really remember anymore.
okay. So between the two of them, who do you choose?
Yes, Sarah. Can't be now. I think that's wrong.
Can't be who?
No, I think I'm wrong.
Okay, well,
Your input would be great.
I have no input from me.
Well, anyone's input would be great. I think I'm wrong. I don't know.
If you're wrong, then go for the other one.
But I think that's wrong too. I'm not fully convinced by anyone.
Shit.
Oh, we timed out. Sorry. I do that a lot, embarrass myself in front of everyone.
Who's been on the back foot this entire trial? I didn't even realize we only get two. I didn't realize we only get two thingies.
Who has been on the back foot this entire...
I'll tell you what. I'll give you a clue. You are correct on one of them, of the two.
Right. That's not helpful.
Yeah. Like you chose two, and I'm like, yeah, there is a correct answer in there. One of them is the correct answer.
Yeah, but we only have one heart, so that's not helpful.
Yeah, true. True.
Here's my answer.
It's because she was being like, no
It
to
was
everything.
Celeste.
So I'm the suspicious individual now.
That's
am
a
I?
shame. I like Celeste.
I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are
It was because you said that there was a
is that
twist
I
with
specifically
Yasuhiro that I
chose
was
to
like,
work
I'm
together
wrong.
with Hifumi.
Could have been right.
The idea that I would choose to spend
Yeah, you're right. He's a simp. You're right. I'm annoyed at myself now.
Chaos, you said it earlier and I ignored it because I'm like, yeah.
Why couldn't you have just reminded me of that?
That would have been way too easy.
Yeah, well, I'm poorly.
I'm poorly.
I'm poorly. I'm
Your
just
mind's
a
not
baby.
poorly.
It is.
The idea that would choose any amount of time to spend. Yeah.
But I would go within 10 feet of that shit.
And we like
Listen to her. Listen to her.
lazy, worthless goddamn idiot.
Listen to her.
Listen to her.
Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear,
I like it when she's
there
mad.
is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
What is it that only Hifumi and Celeste had in common?
The suspicious individual.
I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit.
They're the only two who
doesn't
saw
it?
him.
The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Boris. Oh no, he's Rishi. But still.
Yo. Who the fuck do you think you are?
Sorry.
As he
Don't
said,
apologize,
only
Yeah.
Makoto.
and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed.
We all
to
hate
have seen.
Byakuya.
Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you.
Oh, well, you'd been reading everything.
I know.
I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
She's been directing this entire thing.
Breadcrumbs.
Once she'd done her
breadcrumbs.
job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
Huh?
What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been...
Hifumi, he's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
It was to get us to divide into two groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
Then why don't we split into two groups?
I'll lead the hunting party. That seems much more interesting.
Very well. Then Makoto and Hina, you come with me to the nurse's office. I can't speak when I can hear myself. It really freaks me out. I will leave the capture of the suspicious individual to Toko, Byakuya, and Sakura.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected.
He really wanted his chance to shine.
This is my moment.
And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on.
That's what he's taken an issue with.
That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor. Everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
James, you just boot up Mario Kart 8.
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead,
I certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
Yeah, to plant the suggestion in their heads.
I don't believe it. Everything, the whole thing was one big act.
Hina,
You were all
know
taking
it's
part in a
Celeste when
pantomime.
Fumi's body disappeared, right?
Deception.
Yeah. I was feeling kind of sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree,
He's so
Celeste?
proud.
I have no idea what you mean.
The double down! I have no idea
I
what you
have
mean.
no idea what you're talking about.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're gonna die just like those guys died.
I didn't even clock it. I'm now realizing what the slip up is now. I think I've realized what the slip up is. We're going to die just like those guys died. We only know about Hifumi
Oh.
currently.
Oh.
I think.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko,
Then
and
pay
I were first
attention.
to discover Taka's body in the equipment
Yeah,
room.
she had. Yeah, Celeste hadn't discovered Taka's body. It
Okay.
was Sakura, Toko, and Byakuya.
Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Byakuya said that Celeste's comment doesn't make any sense. But what is he alluding to?
I thought we accused her. I thought we were done.
Monokuma file number 3. Do you need to look what it says?
Yep.
All
Yep.
Okay.
All I said was,
He must really be
Deception.
enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys
Actually,
died.
it's that.
Shoot!
Oh, gee.
careful, 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 Jerry.
All I said, they must really be enjoying the sight of us. They must be positive. We are all going to die. We are going to die, just like those
I think we
guys.
gotta take
And
a
that is
take
all
a
I said.
thingy.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it? What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Take that.
Yeah. I know what you need to do.
But she said that she should only have known about Hifumi's death. With that in mind, what's so strange about what she said is,
All I said, they must really be enjoying the sight of us. They must be positive. We are all going to die. We are going to die, just like those guys died.
there it is.
No, it's wrong. That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any
Why
chance
is he
for
like
her
this?
to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than
I'm just
one
copying their
person had
faces now.
And how did you know they were both guys?
Mm-hmm.
Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
I would have done it where you copy those guys to shoot those guys. I can't argue with that logic. Well, pronouns, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Pronoun game. Listen to her.
You all have such
Oh, wait,
vivid
not yet.
imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations.
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took?
She's going back to the
How do
picture.
you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on. And then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Yeah, keep going.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit.
To be fair, Celeste has a really good. She has a really good double down. Like, here's why you're wrong.
Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer.
That is very specific knowledge, Celeste.
In other words, it is an
It's this
unassailable
for me.
fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away.
I'm gonna start doing that when I'm talking shit.
I already do, kind of.
I've lost my buttons.
If
There we go.
everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
Other explanations?
It's too many wires.
If it isn't a picture of the suspect dragging Ifumi away, the only other possibility is...
I'm sorry, what?
Well, what are you laughing at?
The options.
The Ifumi and the suspect have been drinking.
And they're dancing. Ba, ba, da, ba, 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 ba.
Da 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 da.
Show me your receipts, Celeste.
Back it up with a source. My sources have made it the fuck up.
Celeste et al.
I got it.
Obviously, the answer is
It's not
the
a
opposite.
picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us
Bless
astray.
you.
But if you saw someone
Bless you.
wearing something
It's
like
never
that in this
once.
situation, of course you'd notice and be
Sorry, that was
suspicious.
gross.
That's what happened. You put me
Oh,
to sleep
she's
and made me out to be
poorly.
the bad guy in all
I hate
this.
that so much.
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Shut the fuck
No, Celeste,
up.
I actually really, fuck. I actually really like Celeste because when she's doubling down, she's really good at it. Celeste thinks she can prove that there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. But is that really possible? Well, let's have a discussion.
Let's.
They hear that music? That's final boss music.
Let me turn that up.
As in, this
Okay.
is the final sort of
Okay.
robot. Okay.
You dressed
Fucking
me up in
Robo
that
Justice.
suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
No, I don't like it.
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way!
Right, let's look at the Robo Justice stuff, right? Blueprints. These are the blueprints.
Yep.
Doesn't give me much. No one but Yasuhiro could have possibly fit into the costume. In addition, anyone wearing it would not be able to see their feet or bend at the waist more than 90 degrees. If I remember right, Hina said that she couldn't bend at the waist.
Yeah.
You dressed me up
So
in
it's
that
definitely
suit
gonna be
after I passed
this one.
out. Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, as you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly up. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
I missed. I missed.
No way!
I missed.
I saw.
Everyone saw.
I've
Live on
embarrassed
stream.
myself in front of everyone.
Showed my ass on stream.
The person inside, there's no way they could stand up straight like this.
Here we go.
No, that's wrong.
I misread what's in the background of that
No.
every time.
Even if the person
Counter.
inside the suit were
Yeah.
unconscious, they could still
Yeah.
stand up like that. Because that Robo Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
Totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
She did not like that. Here, have a new Sprite. Nani?
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Shook.
Checkmate?
Again, recovery.
I think she's losing it.
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate? Celeste? Clearly!
You
are
okay,
crammed into your
hon?
little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem.
Her accent's gone.
Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as
coming
he lay
back.
dying?
But she loses it when she's angry. Hey Fumi, who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you? Who killed me? That's right, I remember their name. Yasuhiro.
Oh yeah.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Wait, but my name isn't really Yasuhiro. It's actually Taro.
Your confusing statements don't make any sense.
You're only
You're only
making things
more
more
You're
complicated.
making it worse.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
I'll burn you alive.
Because that's what innocent people do.
I will burn you
Threaten
alive.
people's lives.
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
Look at it. Answer's clear.
Is it?
Did he say for serious a lot?
You're asking the person that can't remember. That's why it's not
No.
clear. I can't remember if he gave everyone nicknames or said last names.
Who's the nickname person
Me.
of the group? Who's the nickname person?
I don't remember.
They literally happened today.
Who was it? Oh, Genocide Jill. So you said people's last names.
I got it! That's right. Our last names. He called us all by our last names.
These games have little details that you really need to pay attention to.
It's been 6 weeks.
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, so if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental.
I love
By
that
chance,
shot.
he his first name. Indecent?
Don't talk.
It's giving what's it from Married at First Sight? Do you remember the dinner when she was trying to back him and he was like, "Shut up."
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation?
I feel like there's another one of them on at the moment. It's passing us by.
Yeah.
No. There's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal, but he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on.
There's one person it could apply to.
Could apply to. And that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
I'm going to go into the report card
Share over here.
and find out. Everyone has a last name but Celeste.
Yeah.
What did you just say? To think you take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit.
So she swaps. It's really good how she does it. She swaps between accents.
Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather. Yasuhiro is a loser's name. Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I?
Her hair is actually about to start to spin.
She takes off.
Yeah.
I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg.
She didn't actually
She
say
said
that.
that before.
She did say that,
Making
yeah.
me repeat myself over and over again!
She did say that, but why did that? And
Why
like
is
we
it not
do
on
know
there?
that, but why? That's never been on the report card. The report card has always said Celeste. Oh, okay. Well, actually, no. There it is.
Celestia Ludenberg.
Celeste still won't give up then. So then, I have to do something to make her accept it.
Am I the only one smelling toast? Because if I am, is that concerning?
Well, let's stop that for a moment.
I feel like I can smell something.
Yes. You're not alone, so you're fine.
Oh, good. Glad I'm not dying.
Oh, you hear that? Final boss music again.
Again.
Fumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
How many times do I have to tell you? My name is... Celestia Ludenberg, god damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me,
No way to contradict you.
that's the only truth there is! Moron!
So I know the answer. And if I remember, there's something here that shows its owner's real name. I'm sure Kyoko mentioned something like that at some point. It may not be related to the case, but it might come in handy anyway. So
Hifumi was
out of
trying
all
to
the
tell
out
us
of all the truth bullets in there, there's one where it's weird that it's there because the actual thing when you go into it straight up says it has no relevance to the case. So why is it there? Yeah.
He wanted us to know the killer's last name.
So if we look at your handbook,
Yasuhiro.
each look, it says it right there.
Yeah.
The owner's name is displayed each time the handbook's booted up. What does Celeste say?
I don't know.
No, you'll know when it comes up.
Celeste Yasuhiro.
there's
No, what
one
did Celeste
person here
say?
who might have that last name.
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real
But she just
name
shouted
is.
Celestia Ludenberg, didn't she?
It's,
How many times
what
do I
did she
have to
say in
tell you?
yellow?
My name is
Celestia Ludenberg, god damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict
yes.
me,
No, that's wrong.
So the handbooks have no relevance to the case, but
That's it.
it's gonna come in handy.
It's all gonna hang on it.
what?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up. Monokuma told us all about it before.
This handbook is absolutely vital to a healthy school life, so don't lose it. When you start it up, it will display your name. Always make sure you have the right one. Now, this is not your everyday notebook. It has so many more uses than that.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because. Until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
What is she, the ultimate gambler? She's playing a game now. She's not about to back down. Her double down stat is high.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again.
And here we go.
From the beginning. And shed light on all your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end.
Climax interference! Okay, we've got 20 minutes to write a manga.
Oh no, I hate this bit. Only because it stresses me out.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's tuck in. Let's tuck in. So, Mastermind is like, hey, I have a proper.
A proposition for you.
Thank you. Right? How about...
Here's a suppository. Sorry.
What is that face, Ifumi?
That was the suppository.
I'm looking at these logos. Is it this? I don't know, it kind of matches. I don't know what this is, so we're gonna move on. Knocked out.
Hammer?
No, it seems like he's got
Oh.
cloth.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say this. Stuffing him in, and then puts him on his back like that, and with a photo's taken. So, oh shit.
Is it not the one where someone's taking the picture?
Maybe, but I think that's a decoy, but I'll put it there for now. Number 3, something's happening.
What time did... That's
1 o'clock, isn't it?
Is there a 6 one?
Oh, I know I forgot one. I leave them out if I can't figure them out. And I'll come back to it by process of elimination. What time does that say there?
1.
1.
I feel like there was another clock.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Knocked out. Dead.
Is it?
Oh, the earlier on is 1 a.m.?
Yeah, it is
Because he was told to meet at 1 a.m.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Clever.
Nice. So he's dead. Then what happens?
Yeah, is it that one of Hifumi pushing him?
Yeah, I think so. With the top. So I said, oh no, photo, look, see? And then what's here? Okay, leave that alone. Okay, so this is when he faked his death. So nurse's office. Ah! And then he's dead. No, I literally don't know which one. What? Okay, come back. Oh no, he's dead. Ah. Oh no, he's dead. Ah. And then 6.
Oh. Maybe that's when he's
pushing the. Okay, fuck's sake. Yeah. So let's take that back. No, wait. Oh shit! I don't know. You know. Yeah. Okay. Right. Da 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 da. And he gets knocked the fuck out. With that. So what have we got left? The backpacks. We've got Justice Hammers. We've got a ball. A ball was not used in this. That was used in the last one. Or the first one even. And that was for the second case.
That was for the second case. I don't understand the relevance of
or the bag of
crisps.
chips, yeah. Alright, let's run it back. What happened here?
Justice Hammer 4? Yeah, because someone said in the thingy, maybe we're about to get Justice Hammer 5.
Yeah, but which one was Kiyotaka killed with?
4, because the others weren't big enough to kill someone.
Right.
I think.
You're right, you're correct.
I don't know about the library.
I have no clue. I don't. Alright, we're gonna run it. Is this everything? Did we miss one? We did. What's this?
His backpack? Would he have had the cloth in his backpack?
I don't know. Whoops. I'm just gonna put it in and let the game tell me where I'm wrong.
You! Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was... Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes. First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning.
Not that.
That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker.
The disrespect.
Right? Honestly.
And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room.
Slam.
And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder.
There we go. I was right with that one.
The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crime. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims, to solidify Robo Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our mind that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into
I've not been
their
told I'm
trap
wrong yet, so I
and
reckon I'm
started
right.
looking for the suspect based on that.
Oh, you had to say it.
Right, okay.
Was it Justice Hammer 2?
Was this where I was wrong? Okay. None of the others make sense. What was there? Justice Hammer 2? 3. So I put 2 there.
The killer is you! So,
Yeah, it was 2. Yeah.
while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for.
Oh no.
He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene. in
Justice
which
Hammer
he
3 goes
himself
there.
had apparently been brutally murdered.
Yeah, okay. Oh, God.
Oh no.
I refuse to give up yet.
Oh, God, I got to put all that in together.
Again.
I got to put the pieces together again, don't I? Oh, my God. All right, okay.